Arrow headlines. NASCAR driver sits in on Chiefs quarterback meeting. For Larson, the experience was unexpectedly enlightening. Speaking after the meeting, he admitted his perception of football players had changed completely after witnessing the sheer depth of preparation involved. "Well, I think what I didn't quite realize," said Larson, "just being a casual fan of football was how much work it actually is. Like, I just look at big, buff football players, and I'm like, oh, they just have a couple meetings during the week of practices and just lift." Instead, Larson found a culture built on structure, discipline, and hours of mental preparation. So that was really neat to see, and just, how much effort goes into your prepping for a single game. That was, like I said, that was just eye-opening and really cool scene. You need to see the culture and leadership that goes on there. And it makes sense why they're so successful, explained Larson. Larson's visit to the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback meeting offered him a profound new perspective on professional football. The immense mental preparation and strategic depth required particularly struck the NASCAR champion, dispelling his previous notion that the sport was solely about physical strength. It was clear early in Sunday's matchup with the Chiefs that it wouldn't end well for the Ravens. Both sides of the ball looked woefully unprepared for what should be a familiar Kansas City squad by now. All of the team's best and highest-paid players were injured, underperforming, or both, including Lamar Jackson. The coaching staff had no answer for another Andy Reid-Steve Spagnuolo masterclass. No team gets in their own way more than John Harbaugh's Ravens. Far too many of their errors were self-inflicted, providing too many openings that Patrick Mahomes and co. were not going to squander. And by the time Jackson left the game, it already felt like the rest of the team had given up. Even more than the injuries, that might be the biggest problem facing the Ravens. Their early mistakes snowball and seem to infect the rest of the team. The offense and the defense play the opposite of complementary football, and individual bad plays turn into bad drives, which turn into bad quarters, etc. Nikhil Mehta. These aren't the Ravens we've come to know, the ones that went 25-9 with an NFL best plus 360 point differential from 2023 to 24. They're 1-3 for the first time since 2015, another injury-ravaged season that Baltimore finished 5-11. This was Jackson's largest loss as a starter since 2021. The product that we're putting on the field is not up to par with what the Ravens have been in the past and what the Ravens have been in the recent past, safety Kyle Hamilton said post-game. "I think we know that. We're trying our best to correct it. But obviously something's wrong, so it's up to all of us to try to fix that." Around the NFL, Cohen could be seen yelling at Saleh as he was being held back by offensive lineman Robert Hainsey following Jacksonville's 26-21 win over San Francisco on Sunday. "No big deal," Cohen said. "I'm just going to keep that between us right now. That's it." It seemed like a bigger deal than that as the two coaches were yelling at each other as they walked off the field. Saleh had called Cohen's staff elite. When it comes to stealing defensive signals in a legal fashion, Cohen brushed aside those remarks when asked during the week and wouldn't talk about it with the media after the game. But his players saw what had happened and used it as motivation on Sunday. "You use everything you can," quarterback Trevor Lawrence said. "If you're going to give me free fuel," the Giants running back grimaced in pain on the turf, holding his right knee following the play, which was an incompletion negated by an offsides penalty on the Chargers. He was quickly carted to the locker room before eventually being ruled out after halftime. New York held a 10-3 lead over the visiting Chargers at the time of Neighbors' exit. The NFL, Apple Music, and Rock Nation announced Sunday that Bad Bunny will lead the halftime festivities from Levi's Stadium 8 in Santa Clara, California. The Puerto Rican superstar's selection comes amid another career-defining run. He's fresh off a historic Puerto Rico residency this month that drew more than 500,000 fans and is leading all nominees at the Latin Grammys in November. He has become one of the world's most streamed artists, with albums such as Un Verano Sin Ti, an all-Spanish language LP. Bad Bunny will host Saturday Night Live on October 4th. "What I'm feeling goes beyond myself," Bad Bunny said in a statement. "It's for those who came before me and ran countless yards so I could come in and score a touchdown. This is for my people, my culture, and our history. Ve y dile a tu abuela que seremos el halftime show del Super Bowl." In case you missed it on Arrowhead Pride, we're assuming right now that it's just a small little thing. Toub told reporters this week, "It's technical. We look at the tape and see it's an unusual miss for him, to miss it to the right. So it's gotta be his ball contact. He doesn't need to do more. He does a lot already. If anything, we need to cut down what he does and get more specific on making sure the contact is good, and the rotation of the ball and the fundamentals are down." Toub said the staff is treating the slump as a chance to get back to basics. "You go back from scratch," he explained. "You evaluate it, you talk about it, you look at the tape, you build your confidence back, and then you go." Toub acknowledged that they're also working on adjusting Butker's balance between accuracy and distance. "That's one of the things we talked about," Toub said. "We kick a lot of long kicks in practice. We're going to kick more shorter kicks and less longer kicks, because the shorter kicks are the ones that you have to have. Obviously, you want to try to get the long ones too, but we can't spend our time doing that. We have to get more specific and talk about the accuracy of the ball on those shorter kicks. That's what we're going to do." Social media to make you think. Follow Arrowhead Pride on social media. Facebook, like our page, https://www.facebook.com/Arrowhead Pride. Instagram, @Arrowhead Pride. https://www.com/Arrowhead Pride. X, follow Arrowhead Pride. https://com/Arrowhead Pride. AP staff on X. See complete list. https://website Arrowhead Pride on social media. Sports Radio 810 on X. Follow @SportsRadio810. https://twitter.com/SportsRadio810.